Sergeant Joe Imperatrice is a great guy. This guy's done more for cops than anybody I've seen aside from the commissioner himself. He's and founder of Blue Lives Matter, NYC, one of the organizers of Support Pantaleo rally that took place prior to this fire. Hey, Joe, welcome to the show, man. Great to have you with us this
morning.
morning.
Joe, thanks for having me.
I'm like fired up this morning. You were listening this morning. I said you came in. I said, man,
this is going to be a really energy-filled
please.
episode here. I'm like,
please.
This is going to be a really good
First
one.
of all, thank you for what you're doing. How Lisa Tuzola, how's Lisa doing?
She's
Good?
great. I spoke to her yesterday, and several widows I saw over the weekend at Yankee Stadium that are great. And
hey, tell us about that event. That was a great event. I saw that August 18th. I had it in my calendar. Of course, I'm down the shore with Grandma, so I can't get up. Tell me, you went to the stadium.
So I went to the stadium, the Audi Club, and the main goal of Blue Lives Matter NYC is to remember the officers killed in the line of duty or diagnosed with a life-threatening disease. And
wow.
We ended up having several families come out through all the generations, and that's what it's about. That's why after yesterday, no matter how calculated the decision was to try to tear us apart, we need to remember why we put on that uniform nationwide. We do it because there's officers that showed up to work that weren't able to go home at the end of the day. They weren't able to finish their job, and that's why we're out there. And the main thing is look at your partner to your left and right when you're roll call, the officers you work with. The goal is to make sure everyone goes home at the end of the day. You know, you're going to protect the city. You're always going to do your job. Yeah. But the main thing is we cannot allow people that don't have the best interests of no matter what city they politicize over in their hearts. And that's the main goal. It's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to talk negative about the police commissioner. And like you said, he is an amazing human being. And it's very easy when you're the head of a city and you could drop a grenade in someone's lap and say, hey, it's all on you. But that's not fair. Yeah. And Joe, I really believe, and I think you guys do too, I was thinking to myself, this is a combination of so much stuff over the years. Yeah. And it starts when people go out, well, when it's time to vote, I'm not voting because my vote doesn't matter. But it does. Yeah. And it's New York City's fault. Why do you say that? And it's the nation's fault. Because we could go out there and we could make a change. And yesterday was the main show of display that we need to do that, right? And, it's us teaching our kids from when they're little the right way, to respect police, not go against them. It's to treat each other with respect, to go out there no matter how old you are, to stand up for one another no matter what race, religion, creed, or sexual orientation. And we failed that as a city, and we need to go back to that. And when we get back, everyone will be able to get back to their jobs, be able to make New York City better. And it's a roller coaster, Joe. You'll say it's up and down, and we're at a low right now, but we're going to get back. And God bless all the union guys and yelling and speaking from, what they feel.
Yeah,
but
we feel it. Yeah, we feel it.
I want to be out there, Joe, and speak from the heart and let people know that there's still a light at the end of the tunnel. There's still someone out there that's pure, and we're going to get through this.
Yeah, and what Joe is doing, what Sergeant Imperatrice is doing with Blue Lives Matter, you remember lives lost. You forget lives lost. You forget the cops assassinated. You forget the 28 or so police officers around the country already this year that have been killed. So God bless you for doing that.
Joe, since 2014, 7 NYPD officers, 8 with Detective Stephen McDonald. We have 9 suicides this year in 2019 alone. That's what we need to focus on. Everyone's going to try to derail you. I was speaking to Frankie earlier with a good friend of mine, Joe Borelli. We're going to reschedule our candlelight vigil. That's what we need to get back to. We need to focus on taking care of one another.
Before we go to the issues of the day, of course, the suicides within the NYPD. I can't believe it. And you know what's wild? The NYPD has never been more elite, never been more top of the game. And we have so many. Listen, 647 with Joe and Joe on the radio. When I see the police, and so many listen, and the brothers and the sisters that are listening, and they stop me and they go, Joe, thanks for your support. I mean, I can't believe how good they're doing. They are at the top of their game now. Right. The New York Police Department it's like in this city with these politics, Joe, it's impossible. Yeah. Yet you have. If it's not one thing, now it's police suicides, And what do you say? Because there's people, listen, there's places they could go. There's people they could talk to,
correct.
And how are you reaching out to the folks who maybe are on the edge?
Well, number one, we have to thank officers everywhere who put their lives on the line, no matter what city they work in. You also got to remember that we are where we are today as a city because of the people that came before us. People from decades ago that put in the hard work, the officers that lost their lives, and the officers that maybe were having a hard time in life that, we didn't pick up on and we failed, and, maybe we could have saved if we just reached out and tried a little bit harder. And it's a combination. See, it's a really slippery slope when it comes to suicides because it's such a sensitive subject. And the problem is there's so many hotlines out there, so many great organizations, but the people that end up killing themselves are the ones that don't reach out for help. They're not the one calling the hotlines. You always hear they were the life of the party. They were the last person you'd ever think of.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And we have to let people know, and it starts from within, that we have support, that talk to us, that we need to get over this stigma, that life goes on, that, Joe, I could talk to you and we can start talking about situations, and you might turn around and be like, wow, I'm going through the same thing. And if we just open up and speak, it's very easy to complain in life. It's, oh, this stinks, that sucks. Yeah. It's very easy, but it's a lot harder.
I learned that from Al.
It's a lot harder to
embrace
jump on the boat.
It's okay.
I'm learning
every once in a while. It's all right.
Hey, Sergeant. So, how's Officer Pantaleo doing? How's the family doing?
I spoke to him several times. I grew up with Danny, and he was really hopeful that he was going to keep his job. And I heard you earlier, and it's funny how Al Sharpton comes out.
Oh.
He starts running his mouth yesterday. But you know what's funny? There was the shootings. There was a 12-shot a week or two ago in Brooklyn, right? Where is he rallying?
That's right.
Where is he raising the money for the families of individuals that need it most? Where is he raising the money for the programs of kids to get them off the street and help this city? You're there to cause havoc, but where are you to make a difference?
Get Al a sandwich. Put that weight back on. He made more sense. He was more fun when he was heavy. God forgive me. I'm being rude. And this is Joe talking. How dare he? First of all, when you apologize for Tawana Brawley, number one, that's all you got to do. That's what, and the press goes to Al Sharpton for an audio or a video clip. The press goes to Al Sharpton. Joe, it's like it's comical.
No, he's not an activist. He's an instigator, and we need to stand together once and for all. And I think the silent majority is starting to get fed up in this city, and I think there's going to be a lot of change coming. And I'm going to defend my good friend Councilman Borelli, and he, along with myself, put together an event with Thrive NYC, and it was to help officers that need it most. And I'm sick and tired of people, because of a goddamn name, and they see Blue Lives Matter NYC. Look us up. We're the only organization, you can call me an activist or whatever you want, that's going out there and doing good things. We're doing it nationwide. We're raising money. We're making a difference. We're not going out there and stopping traffic on the FDR. We're not going out there and causing havoc or threatening to shut down the city. So anybody that was responsible for shutting down our program, shame on you, because if you looked us up, you'd see that we've done more probably in this city over the last couple decades than any other group claims to do. All right, and I'll challenge anybody with that. You know what? Joe Borelli isn't a liar, and he has no reason to lie, and with the emails and everything out there. And it's funny, because that's like the police commissioners telling me, Joe, if there was a problem with somebody, you should have called me direct. Shame on you. You're running a friggin' city. You think you're going to pick up for Joe Borelli when he tells you that someone's screwing up? That really, I don't get fired up much, but when you see your brothers and sisters dying every single day, at their own hands and nationwide, it's enough. And there's going to be change. I promise that, and it's going to be in a good way.
And you know what? Yeah, that's it. That's so true. And I'll tell you what, and Joe's a good friend of the show. Best thing to happen to Joe, because he could take on, de Blasio, thank goodness, will be gone, but Joe could run for mayor now on this alone. He was so right to put Blue Lives Matter on this, and they're using state funds and city funds rather, and they don't even reach out to the police officers. Shame on them. Well, Joe, listen, thank you. We got a break, but thanks for all you're doing, man.
So much.
You know what? And the mantra this morning on the show is to keep it within the family.
Correct.
Keep it within the family.
And Joe, one last thing.
Please.
All the people out there and the posts and stuff, we can't blame this commissioner. I could have a whole other segment of how great he is and the stuff you don't see. And I know it's easier to put the blame on one person, but let's come together. Let's stop blaming people, learn from this, and grow.
Yeah, right on the money. Sergeant Joe Imperatrice, thanks for all you're doing with Blue Lives Matter, Joe. God bless you, and for being so active in the community. I see you. I see you working with the widows, with the families, one-on-one. God bless you, brother.
Thank you.
And Godspeed, my friend. Thank you, Sergeant. Joe Piscopo on the radio, 652. Debbie's out there.